Hello, thanks for joining me today. I'm Coach Bronson. If you don't know me, I've been in the fitness and nutrition space for 10 or 12 years. I've been working with people, helping them improve their quality of life for a very long time. I've owned a gym. I do things virtually. I do one-on-one coaching. I do group programs. My focus is on helping people understand the importance of fitness and exercise and combining it with nutrition to get a really good picture and overall improvement in your quality of life. A lot of people are missing that. I've been doing some stuff recently with Dr. CYWES, and he asked that I do a video that kind of talks a little bit about the specifics of what fitness can do to help specifically on people who are trying to recover from or manage carb addiction. So he's the carb addiction doc. A lot of the stuff that he works with that you guys know about is helping you break that cycle and build some new habits and change your life by removing carbs, reducing carbs. And we know that there are some things that can be challenging with that. And there are actually, I don't know if you know this or not, there are actually 6 different ways that exercise and fitness, having some kind of fitness routine and doing something to help your physical body improve, can help you in your carb addiction management in that process. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down. I'm just going to go over 6 things and then talk more about, we're going to go over the 6 things, not super in depth. I don't want to dig too deep into them, but what I do want to focus on at the end is what it means to do something for your fitness. What does it mean how do you get started? What does it mean to have a routine, that kind of stuff? Because I think that's the part that is really intimidating to people, not knowing what to do to get started, thinking that it's going to be more complicated than it actually is. It's not that hard to do something, and just having that block of unknown, an unknown aspect of what it's all about and being afraid of that. I mean, that's really what it is. So what we're going to do, first things first, 6 ways that exercise can help you manage your carb addiction. Okay. First things first, we've got the first thing that it does is when you start an exercise routine, that is exactly what it is. It is a routine. You give yourself something that you're going to do on a regular basis. The idea of having a structure and a routine in your life is something that can be very beneficial to the process of managing an addiction. Okay. When you have idle time, I know for me personally, the times that I have the most mental struggles with cravings or with wanting to do something or with having a downtime, that's when I really want to go have a snack or I want to go do something that I know I shouldn't be doing. Okay. So if you can have structure, if you can set an expectation of, what you're going to be doing throughout the day, this goes beyond exercise in actuality, but just in general, having structure, having routine, having an exercise plan, following a program is something you can add into the other things you already have in your day that is going to kind of help keep that framework of consistent things going on throughout the day to keep your mind off of the stuff you don't want to be thinking about. Okay. So that's one thing. Just the idea of having that structured routine, that every day you're going to get up, or every day when you get off work, or every day during your lunch break, or whatever it may be, this is something that you're going to expect yourself to do. It's going to help you maintain that and build. Here's the other thing. It starts building that framework for a habit. Okay. And you can start creating habit loops that are beneficial to you, not harmful to you. Okay. So that's one thing. Structure and routine. Having an exercise program that you're following is going to give you some structure and routine. That's going to help you manage your addiction. The other thing that happens is every time you work out, and I talked about this at the beginning, it's scary, not knowing what to do, not knowing if you can do a certain exercise, not knowing if you can do that kind of a workout. The challenges that you face making your body do things that are difficult is going to instill self-confidence. It's going to help you realize your self-worth. It's going to improve the value that you see in yourself. When you overcome challenges, you feel good about yourself. And that is something that is beneficial. When you can do things and you can show yourself, I can do hard things, then it becomes easier to do hard things. When you're faced with challenges, you look at those challenges differently because you have overcome challenges in your daily life. Physical challenges take mental effort. When you have mental challenges, you now can approach it the same way and have success. So the self-confidence, the self-worth, the tangible proof that you can do hard things, the every workout. Think about this. Every workout is an opportunity to win. And that's something that's very powerful. Every time you go do a workout, every time you say, I'm going to spend time trying to make my body better, you are winning in that circumstance. Okay. And you're building on top of that. Every time you do it, it's another win, it's another win, it's another win. And that's a great way to progress forward. All right. There's another aspect of it that's a little bit more scientific, and that is what we call somatic awareness or somatic experience. And that's the idea of being in touch with your body. So if you may have heard the phrase before, mind-body connection. And what that is basically being aware, having your mind be aware of what your body is doing, aware of what muscles are being used, aware of the positions and the things you're doing with your body. That's where we get balance and coordination from. Okay. The practice of moving your body in a workout develops what we call proprioception or interoception, and that is feeling how your body works. Okay. The same process is somatic. That means in touch with yourself. Okay. That same process of you being in touch with your body helps you develop the same things and the same techniques and processes that help you get in touch with your internal self, your thought processes, your motivations, the reason you're doing things, the struggles and the limiting beliefs and the stuff that's happening in your mind. Physical effort helps you work through the mental effort that it's going to take to move forward in your journey. So there's a correlation there. The more things you're doing to get in touch with your body, the easier it's going to be to get in touch with yourself. And that is something that a lot of people don't really understand or know about, the process of following an exercise program. It takes mental work. Again, there's a mental game. Everything we're doing is a mental game. It takes mental effort to do physically hard things, just like it takes mental effort to do the emotional or the intellectual or psychologically hard things. The things that we have to do, the internal work, understanding our why, and all those sorts of things. So those are all benefits of exercise. If you're having a hard time connecting with the internal things, go work out. It's going to give you the time and the space and the disconnection from other stimulus in your life that allows you the time and the space to do the internal work in your head. Okay. As well as the practice of doing it with your body. Now you know how to do it with your mind. So there's a good overlap there. And that's really a huge benefit that many, many people miss out on from exercise. Exercise allows you to connect with your mind a lot better. There's another aspect of fitness and exercise that people may or may not realize, and that is you are joining a club, you are joining a community of people who are all different than everybody else. Okay. 90% of the world doesn't exercise regularly. 80%, almost, we're at 70% now, I think, of the world is obese and out of shape. And a majority of people, 5% of the world exercise 3 times a week or more. It's not a lot. Okay. And I say the world, let's even just talk about the United States, just in the US. Okay. Not many people are working out and doing something to improve themselves physically on a regular basis. So by doing that, you are immediately, the minute you decide, the minute you start doing something to improve yourself physically, it doesn't matter if you're going to a gym. It doesn't matter if you are lifting a ton of weight or anything like that. Just the fact that you have decided to and started doing something to improve your physical ability 3 days a week, you are now above average. Think about that. It doesn't take a lot. If you're currently having trouble getting out of your chair and you decide, I'm going to get out of my chair as many times a day as possible until it becomes easy, you are now following a program for fitness that is improving your physical ability, and you are now in the 5%. You are extraordinary. You are above average. It doesn't mean going to the gym. Okay. It means doing something to improve your physical ability. What can you do physically? That's what fitness is all about. We'll talk about that towards the end. Okay. So you're in a community now. You have now joined a community of people who are doing something to improve their quality of life. So you now have access to a bunch of people through different methods. Dr. CYWES has a network of people. I have a network of people. There's people out there online in groups on Facebook, on Reddit, on social media, where you can talk to people and have something in common that you may not have had in common before. Because it doesn't take joining a gym, it doesn't take having a six-pack to be part of the fitness community. All it takes is a desire to and doing the things to improve your physical ability. That's all it is. So if you're doing that, you can now participate and have conversations with people who are going through the exact same things that you're going through. You have a support system automatically. Okay. So that's something else to think about. You have examples of other people who are going through the same things that you're going through. So you can see that people are being successful. You have support. You have the understanding that you're not alone in this. There are other people that are going through the same challenge as you are. Okay. And you have accountability. You can make friends. You can make friends and get in groups and talk to people and have that accountability that you know they're going to be expecting to hear your success, because your success is helping them keep their success, and you build on that with other people. So that's something to think about. The aspect of community, the aspect that you are extraordinary just by doing something more than you're doing right now. It doesn't take a lot. Okay. Improve mental function. This is a really cool one. The process of exercise actually helps your brain process fuel better and function better. So there's, I don't know if you guys heard of nootropics or neurotropics, but there's a neurotropic called brain-derived neurotropic factor, BDNF, that when you exercise, particularly this, here's another kicker. This is something I may talk about in the future, but more related to resistance training and high intensity interval training, not related to cardio. So this is not about cardio. This is about moving your muscles and doing something that is physically challenging to do, like strength wise. Okay. High intensity work. Okay. And we'll talk about what that means again later. But when you're doing things that are challenging to your body, your brain responds. And because your brain is what? Your brain is the control center of everything. So if you're stressing everything, your brain has to do more work. Basically, you are working your brain and making your brain better. Okay, that's an easy way. That's the layman's way, easy way to say it. Okay, when you exercise, there are hormones and proteins that are activated in your brain that improve brain function. So if you want to have clarity, get rid of brain fog, all the benefits, some of the similar benefits we see from being ketogenic, okay, are supported by and enhanced when you exercise. Okay, so something to think about there. All right, so on top of all, okay, this is basically just to summarize, guys. If you start a fitness routine, okay, you're going to have better brain function. You're being extraordinary. You're doing more than 5% of the whole population, right? You are now in the above average category. Okay. What else we got here? I forgot one. Stress management. Oh my God. When you exercise, I was going to summarize and move on to the how to get started part, but I forgot about stress. Stress management is huge. It could be one of the most important things, because a lot of our triggers when it comes to addiction are stress related. Something bad happens, we have an emotional reaction, something triggers us, and we react with a habit loop. Okay. When you are better at managing stress, the triggers go down. When you are better at managing stress, you are better able to deal with the actions that you would normally take. You have an opportunity to take different actions and enforce different habits. So exercise allows for that. What exercise is you are stressing yourself. It's a stress on the body. You are stressing yourself in a way and in an environment that you have 100% control of. Okay. So you can determine how much stress you want. How do I handle that stress? How do I recover from that stress? You are in control of the entire situation. What that does is it allows you to train your body, train your mind, train your thought processes, how to deal with stress. On top of that, then you have the physiological aspects of building muscle, improving your metabolic function, reducing your overall internal stress in your body. Okay, so you're now also reducing your overall stress load. Okay, so that when you recover, things are even more capable of handling that physical stress on your body. But mentally now, you've also put yourself in a situation of purposeful stress. When you get into life, life is this opposite. Life is a situation where we have uncontrolled stressors, uncontrolled things that are happening that if we don't prepare, that's one of the great things about exercise. You are preparing in a controlled environment for the uncontrolled environment of life. Now you get into life and now you have things that stress you out. You have some things in place because you've been practicing them in your workouts so that you are better able to handle them during the day. Okay. So that's another thing to think about when it comes to exercise. Exercises, guys, I need you to understand that exercise is 100 times more about your quality of life, your stress management, your mental health, and all of the things that you need to help you manage your carb addiction and they had nothing to do with big muscles, having a six pack, looking good. It's none of that. It's about your quality of life and your ability to live your life the way that you want to live it without having the burden of being a carb addict, without having the burden of being unhealthy, without having the burden of being physically incapable of doing things. Okay, that's what it's about. So how do we get started? How do I overcome this hurdle of I don't even know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't have a gym membership. It's hard for me to even walk up the stairs every day, whatever challenge you may be facing. Okay, here's the first thing to realize. Number one, okay, 1% more than what you're doing right now is all it takes. It does not have to be a lot. And here's the mantra that I want you to take to heart. Okay, find something that is physically challenging right now and find a way to make it easy. That's all you have to do. That is where you get started. There's a lot more down the road, but how you get started with improving your fitness, how you get started with starting to learn how to move your body, build some muscle, build some lean mass, improve that glycogen storage, improve that insulin resistance, reduce your body fat, improve your metabolic efficiency. How you get started with all those things is just find something that is difficult right now and make it easy. If walking up the stairs is hard for you, do it until it's easy. Okay. If you have something in your life that you avoid doing because it's too hard, find a way to do it. So if getting out of your chair is difficult, okay, and you do it maybe once or twice a day because that's all you have to do it to go to the bathroom. You have to do it to go get food, right? You have to do it to walk to let the dog out, whatever it may be. If you're only doing it a few times a day, try to double the number you're doing it. If you do it 3 times a day, get up out of your chair 6 times a day. That's step number 1. Okay. If it's walking up the stairs is challenging, then walk up the stairs 2 or 3 more times a day than you normally would. Okay. If getting down on the floor or up off the floor is difficult, try doing that more often throughout the day. Find a way to modify it, hold on to something, grab something, get help. There's a lot of different ways that you can do these things. You can ask for help. You can use tools and equipment to help you do it. Whatever you need to do so that that thing is no longer difficult or challenging, then that's what you can do. Okay, that's a great way to get started. If you have something, let's say you're really limited and you're stuck in a chair for a while, then getting something where your legs and your arms can move, you can do things in a chair with some milk jugs or some water bottles or whatever and move. You can put your hands over your head. You can put your arms out to the side, right? There's things you can do. There's a bunch of things you can find online. I may actually be putting a program together that's specifically designed for how to work out from a chair. So that's something to keep an eye out for. That may be coming in the future. But there's a lot of stuff out there that you could do. And the biggest thing to understand is it doesn't matter where you are. There is something that you can do to improve your body's physical ability. Okay. So if you have questions about what that stuff is, I'll be in touch with Dr. CYWES. We'll have contact back and forth. You can always ask me questions and I'd be happy to answer and give you ideas on exercises or ways that you can approach that. Okay. But just remember, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be super hard. And it's really just about figuring out where you are and how to add a little bit more to what you're doing. Okay. That's number 1. Okay. If possible, recommendation from Coach Bronson to you, try to find a way to connect to other people that are doing it. Okay. If you can join a program that has something online where you're following it online and maybe there's a community of people you can chat with. That's a great way to do it. Maybe you find a YouTube channel that has some exercises and there's comments, whatever you can do. If you can find a gym and you're capable of going to a gym and doing something at a gym, join a gym, find a community, find some other people that you can share the experience with. That's super huge and super helpful. And then thirdly, this is probably the biggest one. This discussion in and of itself, just talking about fitness, is scary for some people. It may be scary for you. Okay. Don't be afraid to try it. If you don't try it, you will never know what could have happened. If you don't try it, you'll never see whether it's working or not working. If it works, that's fantastic. If it doesn't work, what have you got to lose? At least you can say you tried. Okay. Being afraid and not trying it is one of the worst things you can do for your progress. Being afraid and trying it. Okay. Here's the thing I want you to understand. It's okay to be afraid. There's nothing wrong with being afraid or being unsure or being anxious or apprehensive about trying something new. It's natural. Our body wants to keep us safe. Okay. Our lizard brain wants to keep us in that comfort zone because we know in our comfort zone, nothing bad's going to happen. Okay. You need to step out of that and just try 1%. It's a little bit more. It's the most accessible thing you can do. Find the smallest thing that you can do that's a little bit more than what you're doing right now, and just do that consistently for a while and see how you feel, see what happens. Okay. So that's it for now, guys. 6 ways that exercise can help you manage your carb addiction and how to get started. If you have any questions, my information is at the bottom. You can always contact me. But I just want to thank Dr. CYWES for giving me this opportunity to share with you guys. And what he's doing is fantastic. I'm very happy and honored to be working with him on this stuff. I'll see you guys soon.